Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you, the most gracious, the most merciful. I begin in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, the loving, the wise, and the just. I want to welcome you again to our annual gathering for our organization, CAIR Michigan, and it truly is our organization. And it's always nice to see the diversity of our supporters from across the region and across the state. And it truly shows the strength of our community and how they back our community organization. And especially today, looking out at the weather, of course, the fickle Michigan weather, depending on where you live in Michigan, in fact, you may have had different weather. But still, you have made it out here through that. It's not easy on a Sunday afternoon. But in talking about the weather and in just actually talking with a friend right now over here, one of the key elements in our weather is water. And I was thinking about what I would talk about today, and for some reason I started reflecting on water. And if you think about water, a drop of water by itself does not have an enormous impact. It may get the attention of an individual, and it may also get the attention of a small group of people by way of that individual because they may comment on it. But without a sustained shower or sustained group of water, you will not see an effect, a lasting impact. And that water, when it is a sustained shower or a sustained effort over time, that water leads to rivers. And those rivers are what have an impact on our earth and our planet. And we see things like the magnificent Grand Canyon or the waterfalls that we see all along our planet. And this is the same, it's drops of water, but together, acting together and acting in unison. And I reflected, we ourselves are a creation that is primarily water. 90-something%. And we do not behave too differently than water. The impact of our behavior is not too much different. When we act on our own, we can be drops of water. And when we act in an isolated manner, we can have an impact, but it may be temporal, it may be fleeting. But when we act together and in unison and in a coordinated fashion, that is when we can truly be rivers, changing our society and leaving behind, by the grace of God, a legacy like the Grand Canyons and the Niagara Falls and the waterfalls around our planet. Now, I looked out at recent events and looked at our community, and we see many beautiful examples of water, where even individuals, they in and of themselves are bodies of water. For example, and some of these people are here with us today, Sister Mona Haider, who by herself, after the incidents in California, took it upon herself in her own initiative to start a small stand, or it seemed small at that time, to her even, by her own admission, it seemed small, but ended up being so impactful. Just a small stand that said, ask a Muslim. Get a donut, ask a Muslim. Free donut, ask a Muslim. And she was just doing it in her local area. That's what she thought she could do. And the impact of that one action has been enormous. Now, thousands and thousands of people, and that's not an exaggeration, thousands and thousands of people have been reached by that one action that she did because it was such a good response. It was replicated across the nation. She herself, with her husband, went across the nation. She was a body of water in and of herself, changing perception. Al-Hussein Madani, he is an employee at Facebook who, after, again, the same incidents, didn't sit back. He sent an email to his thousands and thousands of colleagues at Facebook and said, listen, I know what happened. I'm a Muslim. You want to get coffee? It's on me. I'll answer any question, no conditions, about Islam and Muslims. Now you'd think, okay, fine, some people just out of convenience might go ahead and take him up on that. He's had 2,000 requests for coffee. That's a lot of coffee to buy right now. That's a lot of coffee. But 2,000 requests now. He's still trying to keep up. That's one person, but who then is going to have an impact going further. Saqib Javed, from our own community here in Michigan, a young man who saw the hate and the hate-mongering that was occurring at a certain candidate's events, which we will not name and give any further publicity to, although CAIR Michigan does not endorse any candidates, of course. He saw a certain candidate at these rallies or these events, and he saw the hate there. And what did he decide to do? He decided to counter that by going to these events and countering it with humor and with love. And through that action, it went viral. Of course, it was covered, and now he started a movement. There's so many other young people and old who are following along with him and following in his footsteps and countering with love and understanding and hope and humor. All of these individuals, again, could have been just a drop of water, but their bodies of water in and of themselves. But acting together, the movement that they started, the rivers that they have now launched, will hopefully have an effect on our society. Now, where does CAIR Michigan fall in all of this? CAIR Michigan is not in and of itself that body of water. What CAIR Michigan is the pipes. And I'm not talking about the Flint pipes. I'm not talking about those types of pipes. These are good kind of pipes. Or the hose, and the nozzle that goes on that hose, that has the backing of the water of the community around it, and that channels that, and knows how to apply it. There are times when we have to apply, there are fires around us, and we have to apply that pressure. That pressure, that nozzle has to go on full pressure, and we have to put out those fires. And you will learn about that through our litigation, and through our landmark litigation and legal actions and legal advocacy that our sister Lena Musri will talk about. But there are times when we also have to provide a protective film of water, a gentle protective film, where we're proactive. And you will learn about that through our Safe Spaces program. The CAIR Michigan has had for several years now where we do proactive policies, and we work proactively with institutions such as schools, such as corporations, places, public places, where we implement policies that are protective from the beginning before an incident occurs. And then there are other times when people are thirsty. They are thirsty for the true image and knowledge about Islam and Muslims. And you will learn about our efforts there as CAIR Michigan acts as your true spokesperson, a true and honest spokesperson for the community and reflective of our values. Where we meet with the media, we meet with policymakers and convey the true image of Islam and Muslims and the true frameworks that we should be following. And then lastly, when your neighbor's house is burning or their lawn is not watered, you do not sit back and just hold on to your hose. You use it to help your neighbors because we're all part of the same community and we are in the same communities in the neighborhoods. So you will see that CAIR Michigan does not just sit back and protect the right of Muslims here in America. We stand up for our neighbors. We stand up for those who have issues and challenges similar to ours and maybe different, but who are trying to stand up for social justice. And we will use our hose and use our water for them as well when needed. And you will learn about all of that. So I ask you to support your organization because a hose or pipes is nothing without the water behind it. And that is all of you. That is our community. So I ask you to support your community and your organization so that we have a strong flow always when we need it and that we can use it with hikmah. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.